What's going on, YouTube? You're with me benching. It is time to keep pushing things and get stronger. So, doing our wide grip bench, and usually I do that on Mondays, usually the first lift of the week. But when you're taking a day off here or there, it doesn't really matter what day it is as long as the frequency of you hit the muscle. So, anyway, that out of the way, we're working back up here on bench. And I'm trying to see like what my upper limit is here to really program. Obviously, when you program, you want to know what your threshold is so that you know what weights and rep ranges you can manage. So super happy about this. This is 270 here, which I have not hit in a very long time. And even though I didn't have the endurance here to hit several reps, the program called for a certain amount. I did what I could, called it there, and then did some follow-up sets after to get some extra volume and stimulus, and to kind of really just test and see where my wherewithal is in the body. Anytime you add a new stimulus of weight, rep ranges, it's going to be some recovery time too. So, in my opinion, these move pretty well. Pretty solid form, didn't really break down, and didn't get injured. So, that's my standard, my mechanism for success here. OHP as usual. We're just going to keep hammering stuff because they work, they get you strong, and it's just about the frequency with which you do them. So, like I said, about 2 times a week for all these heavier compounds, and then I'll adjust volume, I'll adjust weight, reps if I'm feeling a certain type of way. Sometimes you get sick, sometimes you just don't recover that quickly. It is what it is, and I'm not gonna abandon the lifts that kind of got me to where I was and got me to like training so much. So gonna do them and then add in the extra flavoring with all the other different accessories here, incline bench. So like I'm telling you right now, the fundamentals, the foundation of how we're getting strong are not really going to change. It's going to be achieving different rep ranges, weights, and an upward trajectory, aka name of the series, the Ascent. And then we're going to try out new stuff when we get a chance to do it. Different gyms have different pieces of equipment, and it could be something different like a bicep exercise or a chest exercise, but the foundational strength exercises are still going to lead to the most amount of growth. That's why muscle density, muscle maturity tends to come from these heavier, overloaded compound exercises. And then you kind of fill everything else in with the accessory stuff, though. But that's what kind of gives you that outline. And then you fill in the outline like a coloring book almost with all the other accessories to round everything out. So that's how I've always trained and how I will always train. Is you need to challenge yourself in that department and then take on additional challenges in conditioning, workload with different volumes and stuff like that, just depending on, what you want to do and what your goals are. So I like doing a little bit more than last time. I like adding a rep here or two, doing something different in the workout to achieve something. It kind of, it's like crossing an item off a list to know that you're moving. Even on days you don't feel good, hey, I did a little bit more than the last time I did this lift, which is progress. We're making gains. So mentally, that's my motivation for doing a lot of stuff. And that's not always gonna happen, but sometimes it can take a week or two at a certain weight to move past it, or like more calories you're eating. But it is what it is. So I would just enjoy the ride, and then your body's gonna tell you when you need to adjust or change things. So like right now, no spoiler. Man, these low bar SSB on the Transform, it's not SSB because that would not be, well, I guess it would be. I guess safety squat bar defines the pad on the chest, and then it is in the low bar setting, so we're kind of sitting back and hinging more than we're pitching forward. I've just never been good at low bar squats. I've got really long legs and then a short torso, so I always feel like I'm unbalanced. So for me, there's a happy medium of both low bar and high bar mixed together. But you're going to kind of see here, I'm just a very top heavy person, so it's always a little bit uncomfortable for me. So luckily with these bars though, you've got the handles to kind of angle yourself into position, which is why I really like them. Sometimes when you are squatting with a barbell, you could be off-centered, off balance. Things can roll forward. Here you've got this elongated handle where you can kind of grip differently and kind of hinge things, and it makes movements like this where you can get a different stimulus. So you're not overloading the same one over and over again, but then also still do the movement. So yeah, like I've never been the greatest squatter in the world, never will be, but I'm going to keep doing the movements and kind of going from there. Sumo deadlifts here, and again, squats and deadlifts are my foundation, what I love to do. They just work for me, and I'll never be without them, you know. So I like doing, like I said before, all these big compounds 2 times a week, some sort of variation, and just kind of going from there or whatever. So all around good workout here, moving the same weight, moving pretty well. Sumo, feel like I'm definitely more built for sumo. I don't feel that same stress in lower back, and that's just the mechanics of the lift. It's just a little bit easier to finish it, shorter range of motion or whatever, but it's a good stimulus. It puts your body in a different position to get strong in, so you're definitely going to feel your glutes a lot more than on a traditional conventional deadlift, and then your quads as well too. So it's a nice feeling when you couple it with the squats before that. It's also a nice warm-up. If I do the reverse, if I deadlift first and then squat, it's usually terrible because deadlifts just take so much more out of you, and you don't feel as fluid, you don't feel as flexible as you would if you did the squats first. The squats will kind of open everything up, get you to depth, activate all the different muscle groups, which is a great, like I said, a great precursor to the deadlifts that you're doing. So this is a vertical leg press. I was messing around with this, but there is an annotation on there that you're not supposed to go over 440 pounds, so it probably won't be my main movement, but I do love leg press. It's foundational to everything that I've done, and the one here, you'll see it in other videos. It feels really good to use, and it's like super, super heavy duty with a lot of different options to kind of customize exactly to how you want. So you're going to see a lot of different changes here. I'll kind of document them in the video, but they'll be evident and stuff too. So pendulum squat here is an awesome bit of equipment. If you want a little bit of different stimulus, or maybe you're learning to squat or you need to work on mobility, this is a great tool to use. It is kind of trippy using, but even I can get super, super range of motion on here. You'll kind of see the heel is kind of moving. So once you dial in where you need to be, it's honestly a really awesome piece of equipment that I really love. So, you know, it's good to have the options when not everything is ideal for you. You get injured, you may have limitations or whatever here. So you can kind of see me fidgeting around. You do have to kind of find exactly where you want to go, and I think I just ended up calling it there because I was not feeling too well. But yeah, that's the video there. Again, I'm going to show the logs to kind of show you exactly the work that I'm doing. Might be some slight variations in the end result, but most part, they're about like 95% accurate. So like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.
Thanks for watching the latest video. If you want to help support the channel, I actually own my own wet shaving and grooming e-commerce website where everything's handmade by me. It's www.apexsoaps.com, and you can get a 10% off code using wet shaver. We've got some cool scents here. We've got some Coca-Cola scents, a horchata scent, traditional barbershop, just some really cool stuff. And you can purchase samples or you can buy the whole set. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. Be quick to respond. Thanks for watching.